जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जसोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन जसोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishupad Paramamsa Parivrata Gacharya Ashtara Sata Sri Srimati Svangres et si Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishupad Paramamsa Parivrata Gacharya Ashtara Sata Sri Srimati Svangres Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Seko Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Ki Jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Mayapur Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Jamuna Mai Ki Jai. Srimati Tulasi Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Sri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan Ki Jai. Sri Sri Gaunitai Ki Jai. Sri Sri Jagannath Subhadra Baladev Ki Jai. Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the Samalivatis. All glories to the Samalivatis. All glories to the Samalivatis. All glories to Sri Guru Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasabhadare. Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve. Gauravani Prashadine. Nirvesesha Sunnavadi. Paschatya Devatarine. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Skanda, 21st chapter, entitled Chanting the Song Sung by Lord Shiva. Sloka number 16. Vidura Vacha Prachetasam Giritrena Yatasit Pati Sangamaha Yat Utaha Haraha Pritaha Tan Naha Brahman Vada Artavat. Vidura Vacha Prachetasam Giritrena Yatasit Pati Sangamaha Yadutaha Harapitaha Tanno Brahman Vadartavat. Viduravvacha prachetasam giritrena yatasit pati sangamaha yadutaha harapritaha tanno brahman vadartavat. Viduravvacha prachetasam giritrena yatasit pati sangamaha yadutaha harapritaha tanno brahman vadartavat. Sri Sri Gaurnitai ki jai, Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan ki jai, Sri Sri Jagannath Subhadra Baladev ki jai. Vaishnavis. Viduravvacha. Vidura inquired, Prachetasam, of all the Prachetas, Giritrena, by Lord Shiva, Yata, just as Asit, it was, Pati, on the road, Sangamaha, meeting, Yat, which, Uttaraha, said, Haraha, Lord Shiva, Pritaha, being pleased, that, Naha, unto us, Brahman, O great Brahmana, Vada, speak, Artavat, with clear meaning. Translation. Vidura asked Maitreya, my dear Brahmana, why did the Prachetas meet Lord Shiva on the way? Please tell me how the meeting happened, how Lord Shiva became very pleased with them, and how he instructed them. Certainly, such talks are important, and I wish that you please be merciful unto me and describe them. Please repeat. Vidura asked Maitreya, my dear Brahmana, why did the Prachetas meet Lord Shiva on the way? Please tell me how the meeting happened, how Lord Shiva became pleased with them, and how he instructed them. Certainly, such talks are important, and I wish that you please be merciful upon me and describe them. Whenever there are some important talks between a devotee and the Lord, or between exalted devotees, one should be very much curious to hear them. At the meeting of Naimisharanya, where Sutta Goswami spoke Srimad Bhagavatam to all the great sages, Sudha Goswami was also asked about the talks between Maharaj Parikshit and Sukadeva Goswami. For the sages believed that the talks between Sukadeva Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit must have been as important as the talks between Lord Krishna and Arjuna. As everyone is still eager to learn the subject of Bhagavad Gita in order to become perfectly enlightened, Vidura was similarly eager to learn from the great sage Maitreya about the talks between Lord Shiva and the Prachetas. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakam Vitansya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. In this chapter, it will be described what will be the instruction or the enlightenment given by Lord Shiva to the Prachetas. The Prachetas are the 10 sons of Prachinabhari, the king descendant from Dhruva Maharaj. They are very exalted personalities and they are very responsible, very obedient to their father, very devoted to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. So they have all the good qualities. They received one instruction from their father. Their father told them, now you go get married and beget progeny. At that time, beginning of the Satya Yuga, there was very few human beings and other living entities in the world. So it was very important for everyone to beget progeny so that the world may be sufficiently populated. So a major instruction here given to the Prachetas. And the Prachetas did not object. And they decided, all right, let us go and enter Grihastha Ashram, but before that, we should be qualified. And to get that qualification, they said, let us go for tapasya. So they were on the way to the ocean. They were thinking, let us go inside the ocean for 10,000 years, and then we'll be qualified to enter into Grihastha Ashram. So at that time, the people were living up to 1 lakh years, Satya Yuga. That means if we take in a relative manner, nowadays maximum is 100 years. So 10,000 years in Satya Yuga means 10 years in this Kali Yuga. So 10 years is so a long time, but they had decided like that. And the Prachetas in this way left their home and they went on the way to the ocean. And I described here in this chapter, they on the way, they met one extraordinary personality that generally nobody meets, Lord Shiva himself. It is very difficult to meet Lord Shiva. He is always doing tapasya in his own kingdom, in his own, there are three divisions of the total creation, total manifestation. Devi Dham, Mahesh Dham, Vaikuntha Dham, Hari Dham. Devi, Mahesh, Hari. These are the three divisions. So Mahesh, he has his own his own loka, and that is not to be visited by anybody. He is completely aloof from Devi Dham, this material world, and his abode is not destroyed, and it is always in the same position. So Lord Shiva is a very exceptional personality, greater than Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma is the creator of this world. He is the highest amongst all the demigods. But Lord Shiva is above Lord Brahma. Even though, according to Leela, Lord Shiva is the son of Lord Brahma. Because another occasion, Lord Brahma instructed the four Kumaras to enter into Grihastha ashram and to beget progeny. That was a standard instruction at the beginning. Everybody should beget children entering into Grihastha ashram. And the four Kumaras, they were completely on the spiritual platform. And they told Lord Brahma, no, we are not going to get married. We are not going to have children. That is not our destiny. We want to pursue the transcendental path of self-realization. We are not interested in populating the world. So Lord Brahma became very upset, and out of anger developed within his mind, and from between his two eyebrows, Lord Rudra came. So Lord Rudra means anger personified, is Lord Shiva. In this way, in this Leela, Lord Shiva was begotten by Lord Brahma at the beginning. But actually, Lord Shiva's life, existence, is beyond that. So Lord Shiva's characteristic is that he is completely engaged in Krishna consciousness. He is always meditating upon Lord Vishnu's lotus feet, glorifying the Lord at every moment. And his quality is that he is very compassionate towards all living entities. Not only human beings, he is also compassionate towards other Nagas and Asuras, those who are not having very good quality. He is also showing compassion to them. So he is always accompanied that Bhutas and Pisachas and other types of living entities who are generally not acceptable in the standard society. They are rejected. But Lord Shiva is so kind. He accepts them as his companions. So he is always accompanied in this manner. And whenever there is opportunity to show mercy to others, Lord Shiva is always ready for that. At the time of churning of the ocean, Samudra, Mantana, the Asuras and Devas churning the ocean. The first outcome of this churning was this hala, poison, very strong poison that became very great danger for everyone in the universe. It was in this way produced at the beginning, and Lord Shiva was conscious of the danger, and without any hesitation, he swallowed this poison. In this way, the ocean was purified by Lord Shiva swallowing the poison. He's up to the neck, therefore his neck became blue, Nilakanta. So this is the quality of Lord Shiva. That is the exemplary quality of a pure devotee of the Lord who does not care for any condition. He is ready to accept any condition for the welfare of others. That is the dedication of Lord Shiva. So here Vidura is inquiring that how is it that the Prachetas met Lord Shiva on the way to the ocean? Because generally Lord Shiva is total recluse, not meeting anybody. But if there is some opportunity, Lord Shiva will certainly show himself and give instruction. There are 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas, and Lord Shiva is the head of one of them, Rudra Sampradaya. As we belong to Brahma Sampradaya, there is also Sri Sampradaya and Kumara Sampradaya, and there is also Rudra Sampradaya. So he is one of the original founder of the Vaishnava Sampradaya, philosophy of Krishna consciousness. So therefore his teachings also are present in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So Vidura is showing the exemplary attitude of inquisitiveness. He is asking Maitreya Muni, what happened? What was the encounter, meeting between the Prachetas and Lord Shiva? Great personalities, great devotees of the Lord. Certainly it must be very valuable for everyone. These talks are millions of years old, beginning of Satya Yuga. When we read the daily newspaper, we just read like this, 10 minutes, half an hour maximum. We throw it on the side. And if the next day the same paper is coming, oh no, we already read this. Gee, why you are giving this paper? I read it yesterday. I don't want to read it again. These talks have been going on since millions and millions of years, just like we are hearing Srimad Bhagavad Gita, talks between Lord Krishna and Arjuna. We want to hear more and more. We are never satisfied to hear these talks, because every time it brings new and new enlightenment. It is ever fresh. That is the difference between ordinary talks, news, and transcendental news from the spiritual sky. Just like you have today, Constitution of India will be highly praised by all the leaders of India at the opening of new parliament. They will discuss about the value of the Constitution of India. This was maybe in the middle of the 19th century, written down by great scholars who had a full knowledge of law and other constitutions of other countries. They together, with a full attention, they wrote this Constitution of India, say about 70 years ago or something like that. And how many amendments? maybe 80 amendments, changes. No, this is not good. This is good. Like this, 80 times they had to change. But you take Bhagavad Gita, spoken 5,000 years ago, any amendment is there? It is perfect. That is the difference between Lord Krishna speaking with his devotee Arjuna and any mundane, even highly intelligent personality writing down the most perfect constitution that has to be changed every year or so. Pardon? 104. See, I'm not up to date. 104. So we can understand the difference between transcendental teachings of such great personalities and the ordinary utterances and writings of mundane philosophers that are highly praised in the society. We should know where to keep our intelligence. That is very important. Vyavhasayot mika buddhi ekeha kulunandana bahusaka yanantasya buddhayo vyasayinam. One of the slokas in Bhagavad Gita, Ramanujacharya considered this to be one of the 4 main slokas of the Bhagavad Gita. Because if we understand properly this one sloka, then we can fix our intelligence on the whole teachings of Bhagavad Gita. Ekeha kulunandana. Vyavasatmika buddhi. Ekeha kulunandana. O Arjuna, you be fixed in your consciousness, one-pointed. Don't deviate. What I'm telling you, you keep in your heart. Don't try to think in any other way. That is the most valuable instruction that we should take from the teachings of Lord Krishna. That we accept the teachings. Arjuna also, at the end of Bhagavad Gita, yes, I accept whatever you have told. I will not deviate. I'm ready to serve you. I'm ready to fight. That is the instruction I've received. Now I'm ready for that. That is the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. So, ekeha kulunandana, bahusaka hyanantascha. But those who are not one-pointed in intelligence, their intelligence is many-branched, many. Many departments of knowledge are there. Mathematics, geometry, physics, chemistry, English, Hindi, Telugu. So many departments are there. Anantascha, and that is unlimited. There is no end to it. So these are the 2 types of knowledge. The one spiritual knowledge spoken by the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna or by Lord Shiva, pure devotee of Lord Krishna, that is defying the time. It is not past, it is not outdated, no. It is always up to date. It is always perfect in all circumstances. So therefore Lord Krishna says that Matchitta, Madhyata Prana, Bodhanta Parasparam, Kathantasya Mam Nityam, Tushanticha Ramanticha. In the 10th chapter, 9th sloka, very important sloka, that the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. So I was talking about Ramanujacharya. This is the sloka that he had chosen, one of the 4 important slokas. And in the purpose, the Prabhupada says that the Srimad Bhagavatam is also full of such narrations about the relationships between the Supreme Lord and his devotees. Therefore, the Srimad Bhagavatam is very dear to the devotees, as stated in the Bhagavatam itself. Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam. In this narration, there is nothing about material activities, economic development, sense gratification, or liberation. Srimad Bhagavatam is the only narration in which the transcendental nature of the Supreme Lord and his devotees is fully described. Thus, the realized souls in Krishna consciousness take continual pleasure in hearing such transcendental literatures, just as a young boy and girl take pleasure in association. So it is natural, young boy, young girl, to take pleasure in association. That is a material circumstance. In the spiritual setup, it is natural for pure devotees to take pleasure in hearing the narrations of the Supreme Lord. They are devoted to that. They are taking enlightenment. They are hearing. They are speaking. They are constantly taking new enlightenment and deriving great pleasure. And this is the position of Vidura, here inquiring from Maitreya. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam is simply a description of various inquiries and answers on the same subject matter of the Supreme Lord, his pure devotees, his qualities, activities, and so on. That is a subject matter. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam, first of all, King Parikshit is inquiring from Sukadev Goswami. Sukadev Goswami heard it from his father, Srila Vedavyas. He left home after hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, and he happened to meet Parikshit Maharaj, who was on a fasting, 7 days fasting before death. He had received a sapam from Shringi, small boy, Brahmana boy, because of some mistake he had done. So Shringi was very upset that why you have thrown a dead snake on the neck of my father. He's a great rishi, and he is doing tapasya. He is doing Maunavrata. Why you are great king, Parikshit? Why you have done such a great aparad against my father? So Shringi became very angry, and he cursed Maharaj Parikshit. You will die within 7 days. King Parikshit was not so upset about it. Okay, this is my fate. I committed a mistake, I accept it. Let me use these 7 days in a purposeful manner, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, and in this way he went outside, he went to the bank of the Yamuna, and he was doing meditation, and then Sukadev Goswami came. In this way, that was the first declaration or discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam. Then, later on, Sutta Goswami explained the same Srimad Bhagavatam to Saunaka Rishi in New Naimisharanya, or Naimisharanya, on the northern side of Allahabad. So the same topics were narrated in this manner. So in this conversation, Saunaka, Sutta Goswami, and Parikshit Maharaj, Sukadev Goswami, in this way, the conversations, other conversations here, Vidura, Maitreya, are also taking place. So this is the meeting between pure devotees. And they take great pleasure in hearing these conversations because that is the real source of enlightenment. It is not going to be faded by time factor. It will be always fresh and a source of great pleasure. Just like conversations between Srila Prabhupada and his disciples. Although the disciples were very young and completely unprepared or unqualified to have such association with the pure devotees. But whenever they asked questions, everybody was eager to hear what Prabhupada's reply, what is the reply to this question. And whenever Prabhupada used to send letters to some of his disciples, letter was addressed to one disciple. He comes through mail. That disciple doesn't get that letter. First of all, it goes to the temple president, and president will open the letter and will announce it to everyone, the content of the letter. Because this is what Prabhupada's teaching in his letter is something that cannot be had at any time, past, present, future. It is something that is coming from the spiritual world, instruction from Srila Prabhupada. So although the letter was only addressed to one single person, but everyone took great satisfaction and pleasure by hearing the letter. So we had developed that consciousness that whatever Prabhupada speaks, this is matchless gift. Nobody can give such instruction. Only Prabhupada could give such transcendental instruction to his disciples. So valuable. So therefore, as Prabhupada mentions with great emphasis, the instruction from the spiritual master should be accepted as one's life and soul. And quoting in the commentary from the Acharya, what is that? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, that the instruction received from the spiritual master should be taken as our life and soul. Here the Prachetas are ideal candidates to receive instruction. They never met Lord Shiva. They may have heard of him, such a great personality. But when they receive the instruction of Lord Shiva, they will take that instruction as their life and soul. That is the importance of the dialogue. In the dialogue, the recipient and the speaker, both of them, should be qualified. Practically speaking, on equal platform. Although one is supposedly ignorant, he is asking question, and the other party is giving answer. But from the spiritual angle, they are equally qualified. That is the giving of the instruction and the reception of instruction. That is, exchange is making everything perfect. The disciple is accepting as his life and soul, as the most important instruction. And the perfect example is Srila Prabhupada himself, who met his spiritual master. At that time, he had never met him. He had never heard of him also. And he was taken by his friend to the Gaudiya Math in Calcutta and to meet Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj. They had some conversation. Srila Prabhupada was very uh, intent upon meeting a real sadhu. He had met many people who had visited their house in Calcutta, but he could not find any real sadhu, really speaking. But when he saw Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati in 1922 for the first time, he was impressed. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur told his Abhay Charande at that time, his name was Abhay Charande, he was not initiated. He told him that you are well educated in English language, and so you should speak, you should teach the precepts of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You should study these teachings and preach the message of Lord Chaitanya, because you are well educated, so I'm sure you can do that. And Srila Prabhupada at that time, he received this instruction. He meditated. How can I do that? See, I'm just become a householder, and so I have no time. I'm busy in house affairs. In this way, for the next 11 years, he was considering how to implement this instruction of his spiritual master. He took Diksha in 1933, and then that became very serious. Then he started to write articles that were going to be published in a magazine. And in this way, he started to write. And gradually, more and more, he spent in 1957, he took sannyas diksha. Then he was completely 24 hours a day engaged in implementing, following the order of his Guru Maharaj, to write books and to propagate the message of Lord Chaitanya. So that became Srila Prabhupada's mission that he took in complete pursuance of the instruction he had received. In this way, this is a perfect example. A perfect disciple takes the instruction of his Guru as his life and soul. Vyavasatmika buddhi ekeha kuru nandana. Whatever problems, whatever difficulties, obstacles, you keep aside. You do not consider the difficulties. If there is no money, still he can write. And when money comes, he can publish. Never discouraged. In this way, Srila Prabhupada started to write and publish Srimad Bhagavatam in India, 3 volumes of the first skanda. Then the next project to go abroad, America. There also there is no money. And where is the possibility to go to America? So by Lord Krishna's mercy, Lord Krishna says, Jesham Jesham, anyway, Lord Krishna said that those who are totally dedicated to my mission, I give them the intelligence. Dadami buddhi yogam tam, jenamam upayantite. Tesham sadatam yuktanam bhajatam priti burrakam. Dadami buddhi yogam tam, jenamam upayantite. So those who are truly devotees, pure devotees, they are not going through depression, negative thinking. I cannot do that. How can I do? So many problems are there. And the government is not giving permission. How can I go to America and so on? Somehow, by Lord Krishna's help, they are able to fulfill the instruction received in this manner. So that was Prabhupada's perfect example. And certainly, he wanted that also his disciples should develop the same attitude. Not that I can hear from my Guru and then I can forget it. No, no question of forgetting. This is my life and soul. We are in this material world for millions of years. We have been wandering here in all species of life. We have achieved this human form of life after millions of years. And even as human beings also, we had so many lifetimes. I had so many father, mother, and family. For every life, we have so many parents. But to have a spiritual master and to become a disciple by the grace of Krishna, this may happen after millions of lifetimes. And if we miss this occasion, then again, other than millions of lifetimes we have to spend in this material world. We should try to understand this. It is not ordinary. Meeting between Guru and disciple is not ordinary. It is something that happens in millions of lifetimes. If the disciple is serious enough, he will utilize and he will not deviate from the instruction received from the spiritual master. Otherwise, he is not using his intelligence properly. So that is the importance of these dialogues, the Prachetas and Lord Shiva. Now will come in the next slokas what Lord Shiva will tell the Prachetas. So we can relish these teachings, and as we relive the entire Srimad Bhagavatam, as we relive the nectar of Arjuna and Krishna in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna says, anyone who hears this Bhagavad Gita and anyone who preaches this Bhagavad Gita, he is very dear to me. There will never be in the future anyone dearer than somebody who preaches these teachings enunciated by me to Arjuna. So that is the value. We hear, we teach the same thing. And in this way we become very dear to Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna is very pleased with us. And what else can we expect in life? We may endeavor for so many things. But if we get the mercy of Lord Krishna, there is nothing else to be achieved. Everything is there. So in this way we should be very attentive, come regularly, hear the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, try to understand, study, accept, digest, and preach to others. In this way, life will be perfect. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any other questions or comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you very much for wonderful. Actually, the question is about, you are mentioning the speaker and the inquirer are on the similar level when they inquire about the spiritual topic. Like, can you please elaborate on it? Because when the inquirer is asking, in Bhagavad Gita we see that Arjuna is kept in the ignorant by Krishna, like that we see. But what about the Bhagavatam inquiry? Is it also like that, or can you please elaborate on that?
Yes, that is the ideal situation when the inquirer is asked on the same level of qualification. What is that qualification? He is very eager to hear about the absolute truth. Just like Maharaj Parikshit, inquiring from Sukadeva Goswami. Very eager to hear. He has 7 days to live. He is not going to doctor, hospital, taking some medicine or consulting some fakir to to cancel the sapam, something like that. No. 7 days, okay, 7 days. 7 days I will not sleep nor drink, I will not eat any, I will hear Bhagavatam. I want to hear. That is the level of competency. So equal level, Sukadeva Goswami, Maharaj Parikshit. Equal level of eagerness, devotion to the subject matter. That is the ideal situation. It may not be like this every time. I am not qualified to speak. And how you are qualified to hear, that you should know better than me. But you have come to hear from Srila Prabhupada commentary. Actually, Srila Prabhupada is daily speaking on the Bhagavatam. It is not that I am speaking today, tomorrow somebody else will be speaking, and every day of the week some new speaker is coming on the Srimad Bhagavatam. Every day Srila Prabhupada is the speaker of the Bhagavatam. He is the speaker. And I'll tell you why. In a magazine, one disciple is telling Prabhupada, Prabhupada, your article is the center of the magazine, and other disciples are writing other articles. Prabhupada said, I am writing all the articles. Why you are thinking you are writing articles? Why should I think I am speaking in the Bhagavatam? Prabhupada is speaking, Prabhupada is writing, he is doing everything. That is the position. Hare Krishna. Any other questions? Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.